So today we will start discussing about the Unit 2 Interaction Design Basics. Okay. Um, um, I have submitted the question papers to examination, sir. I will segregate the questions. I will discuss the questions by next week. We have you have 10 more days, 10 to 15 days to start the examination. I think they have planned to start the exam by December 2nd week. So you'll be receiving timetable. The last date for paying exam fees is 26th, I think so. Okay. So what are the questions that I have taken for initial examination? I will discuss in the class by next week. So today I have planned for a particular chapter in second unit, interactive design basics, because most of the uh, topics related to this subject, human interaction, human computer interaction, it's mainly depends upon interaction design basics. So that's why I start. So generally in design process, what you are all doing in a general design process. So you have a design process, you have a user, you have a various scenario and navigation, iteration and prototypes. So design in the sense is what or how you are going to intervene in, you are providing interaction in the system to achieve some certain goal, and what are the constraints that you are having in design. So design is simple thing to understand how the system or how the interaction scheme should be. So by having the design, the user can achieve some goals or by providing certain input. Even though you may provide certain constraint in the design that you cannot able to move any pop-up menus or any menus across the things. Okay. So that it depends upon the user how they are. It depends upon the developer how they are using it. So design process it provides the information about what happens and when it will happens, and user who are using the system, they are the users. Scenario for to somebody, they will be only using the website for reading the content. Somebody, they will be providing some operations in it. Somebody, they will be downloading it. So there are different users using their internet ineffectively. So by having that, the different navigation part, different iterations and prototypes, it will be available to you. Next, what is the difference between interaction and intervention? So design interaction is like, it's not just an interface. Okay, you are going to do in a different way of interactions to get an immediate reply by having a different interaction styles, like how you are doing in your paper sketching. Intervention is like how the content is incorporated in a design, how this content behaves when you are publishing it, and as well as how the content provides or meaningful it provides meaningful information on your screen. Even though you are designing lot of tools, everything in it, but how these interactions, how these things that helps you to make your computer screen very clear. Okay, now we will discuss the general definition about what is a design. So you may have this question in your term and examination: what is a design? Whether we design have certain constraints. So design is like with certain consent. You will achieve a goal with certain consent. So you have general purpose and who is it for and why do they want it. So mainly the constraint is like what platform you are using, how the platform really supports when it comes to online. So that is a major part of design. Simple thing you just keep in mind: design always to achieve certain goals, but it may have certain constraint on it. Then golden rule. So what is the golden rule is understand your material. It means what you are going to plan, what you are going to decide, or what you are going to incorporate on a screen. So that it should be identified. That is a golden rule. So which helps you that how the content. if you're working with a computer, you may understood that how the computer is working. If you're moving a mouse, the mouse is moving. If you are typing a text document in a word or anything, you can click and then you can type it. So by understanding certain behavior, how the computer is working, based upon that only you are performing operation. Likewise, in a design, you should understand it. Okay. So while understanding, keep in mind two things it come in combination. If you are designing a web page or anything, you should understand, or there is a parallel topic called psychology. So you should understand the psychology plus design concept, then only you can able to design it. If you are not understanding psychology, you cannot do. So if you are playing games, okay, you may aware of it. So many games, it makes a real time implementation, or many games it looks like a real time environment. Why? Because they understand the human psychology, or the person psychology, the age, teenage people psychology. Based upon that psychology only, they are developing a game. That's why most of the teenage or even children, they start playing the games in a mobile for a longer time, because of their understanding psychology. What they are expecting, based upon they are expecting, they are providing the tools, okay, or actions on it. So generally, what will happen is accidentally some errors may happen in design also, but the design, when you are providing for a testing or automation testing, it can be recovered. Central message behind this is user. User is the foremost important things when you are going to design. So what generally the process design consists of before deploying it? First, what exactly that you want, that you have to understand what exactly that you want, and how you are going to analyze it. The information that you needed, you have to understand what is that, then you have to analyze, then you have to design, then you have to develop a prototype, then implement and deploy. Okay. So what is wanted? Analyze, design, and implement. Okay. So in design part, you may have some problems you will be getting, or in design problems you have a lot of discussions. It will be going on design. Once the design is finalized, you will be developing a prototype. Whether the prototype that you have developed helps you in analyzing whether based upon a requirement only we have developed the prototype. So if the prototype does not matches, then once again you have to develop the design the prototype, then implement and deploy it. Next is what are the steps, that what we want is a requirement and how you are going to analyze it, then designing a prototype, involving in uh, making the prototype in a working model, then you start going to implement and deploy it. So make it and getting it out there. Okay. So, but how can I do it all? How you can able to do it all at a time? But the thing is, when you are implementing, you concentrate on designing it. So then you can able to implement in an effective way. So consider this is called as a central message. Whenever you are start designing, the user, okay, generally when the user start viewing the informations, generally they will start view from a right corner. So they will be viewed from a right corner, or they will be viewing it as a center. So whenever the user is trying to view some information on a particular web page, generally they will go for a top, or they will be start from the central message. So user focus. So user focus is very important. Know your user personal culture props. So personal culture problems, user may view the information from the center, then they may go right, or they will start from a center, right top corner, then center. So the focus is focus what user, there only you have to uh, provide the information. So if you are seeing many of the advertisements in Google, uh, websites, they will be providing in a right hand side. That is completely right hand side. You will be having lot of informations. So why? Because we the people, they will be identify the culture. Based upon the culture, right hand side, most of the people, they will be concentrate more instead of left hand side. So they will be providing most of the advertisements are right hand side. And then cart billing, a bus ticket, if you are booking, you will everything, the final list will be in right hand side only, because of user may concentrate on right hand side instead of left hand side. So know first, you know your user, who are they? Probably not like you. So you don't think from your point of view. Try to think from their point of view by understanding them. Talk to them what they want. Watch them how they are how they are willing to do some designs. Then use your imagination. Use your idea for implementing. Don't create your own design and make them to fit based upon their design, their talk or their understanding. You imagine and then you can create it. So once you started using, the users may give a number of many suggestions based upon their difficulty they are facing, and you should also involve in finding a real-time problem. Then you find the surrogate users that are willing to who what they are providing. So all these uh, things you can and you have to provide it. So example is like a Betty is a 34-old. She has been a warehouse manager. For example, this example we said like a, a girl is there. She is working in some company. She met an accident. Then she started working in a home. Okay, she started learning computer courses. Then she started earning more in a field of a computer and no design. So what it makes is, even though she is a diploma graduate, what it made is, when she started working in a computer courses, she can able to do most of her business in computer in a design. So what makes her is like, even though life has been threatened, by his attitude or by his observation, designing makes lot of things, and designing helps you to learn lot of things. So you may know many of the people, those who are working from home, they started YouTube channels. They are doing memes. They are creating many trends or many activities because they have interest in media as well as in a design parts. So those who are having interest in media and design, surely they need to understand the psychology of the human. They have to design. So why this case study here it comes is because of understanding the psychology of the people. So how they can recover from physical work to on online work, how they can able to promote their self through their innovation in design. So there are the cultural props generally. Uh, they will be using hard or psychiatric patients will be there. How to understand or how to make them to use these uh, designs in an interactive way for their interviews or for to promote the ideas or in culture design. So why we are going is to uh, uh, provide some informations to the customer in a valuable way. Then scenario. So scenario is like based upon the information or based upon the story happened in real time, you can use the design and try to reuse the design. So generally in a company, in a software company, one generally what they will be doing is they will be using most of the templates which is already designed. If they start working on a web pages or web design or some any type of web applications, what they will be doing is they will be they will be they will be using the existing template. They will be using an existing template. Based upon the existing template only, they will be using it. Each and every time they will be not going for a new designs. Okay, they will not allow you to use the new designs because new design templates and all created by their company with some senior technical persons. Next scenario is like stories from the design. So based upon the observation, based upon the communications with others, you can validate the other models, understand the dynamics, understand the timing, and then you have to design the web pages dynamically. Next. So what will the user want to do? How they will be doing it? So when the person who directly involved in design, generally they will sketch or screenshot. So nowadays, you have in online itself, you can provide the things, but the scenario is like when they're gathering a requirement analysis, they will be providing what are the design templates. So they will be doing step by step walkthrough, what can they see and what do they do and what are they thinking from their thought. So through that only a complete design it will be get from the developer side. So for example, it is a case study of a movie player. So how the movie player has come into existence. So why they need this type of movie player design is like, so initially, if there is a one movie or if there is a only a few songs, you can able to list only one song. You want to drag it and then you have to bring it. So now if you're seeing most of the things, if you're matching the folder sequentially, it will gather, or some players what the AI based players and all it is there. So what it will do is based upon your mood or based upon the few songs that you are made into a queue. So you have various variety of songs will be there. So based upon your mood, what you will do is you will arrange or you will select few songs and then you will be added into a ready queue. So based upon the ready queue parameters, nowadays a AI based artificial intelligence based player systems is there. What it will do is it will analyze the other variety of songs which already you have stored. Based upon the ready queue list, it will try to search and it will provide. But it will give you an option to choose. It's up to you. If you are choosing, it will understand what type of mood you are. Based upon that, it will provide. So likewise, they are provided very compatible devices to play a song like iPad or something. They are decided and they can able to download and then they can able to store in a device. They can hear. So mock up the device, pretend to doing it. So if you are having internet connectivity, and then you can do it, and then you can play. So like a plug and play. So generally, what scenario they will be using while they are started designing is communicate with others, designers, clients, users, validate other models, play it again, express. Okay, generally when they are playing, what they will feel is either if they want to repeat, they will ask you to, they will be play it again. So or they will be provide dynamic appearance. For example, you may know the players. If you're playing a players, so if there is a no video, automatically there will be they automatically some designs or some background videos it will be running. So some random images it will be running. So that is also dynamically it will be created onto the screen. So next thing is linearity. Scenarios generally always should be linearity. That is called as a linear path through the system. So this linearity helps to make sequence of process with no choices. Okay, generally you don't have a choices in a linearity. So and there is a two options. One is you can choose linearity or random selection. Generally in linear selections, whatever the system it chooses, it will go ahead. Random, there is a random options that is also provided by system you can do. So it's up to the user how or what way they want to play the songs or play this thing. Next central information is like navigations. So navigation is like moving the images are moving the screen from one content to another content. So that is another important part in it, navigation. So it has a local structure, it have a single screen, and you have a global structure and whole site. The system, informations, management, and message. So all these are like a processing information from one part to another part. So navigation is moving from one store to another part. So main is like how you are linking from one page to another page. So next is levels, widgets, choices. That is what are the menus, buttons that you are using. What are the different types of screen designs, how you are navigating it, and how the applications are environments it will be suitable. Next is uh, if you are creating choices, you will be using a different tags, the elements and all. If you are if you want to provide a link, you will be using href tags, and you can choose the page design, site structures, web browsers, and different external links. So generally, it combination of all these links to it. So you have physical devices such as buttons and knobs, dials, physical layouts, modes of the devices, and real-time environments. So generally think about the structure like everything it should be within the screen. Okay. The informations, whatever the informations you are trying to pretend to the user, so it should be fixed into the screen. The layout should be fixed into the screen. So local, and then looking for the screen out. So if you are trying to hide some information behind the screen, that is a not usable or not recommended. So global thing is the structure of the sites, movements between the screens, wider still the relationship between other applications. So that only you need to concentrate, nothing else. You need to concentrate on it. Then create the a website or interactive design based upon the local. So something banking and all, if you're seeing, for example, Standard Chartered Bank, each and every country have a different sites. India, you will have different sites. Foreign countries, you will be having different sites. www.sc.com/in, www.standardchartered.com/UK. So each and every region or each and every country has a different sites. Okay. So based upon the local environment, based upon the local region, what type of websites they will be looking for, you have to design that one. So goal seek, start the things in a way that what you understand from requirement analysis and what type of design the user is expecting. Based upon the many prototype design inputs, everything, you will be starting, then you will be designing. So process with the local knowledge that what you know only, then make a goal. So understand the linkage between these start and goal to avoid any bits, any problems, try to find it. So four golden rules that is important. Uh, it is like general golden rules, understand the materials. Other general four different goals for making design constructable or in a site pages is like knowing where you are, knowing where you are, knowing what you can do, knowing where you are going, knowing where you have been. So these all are within the sites, within the screen. Okay, because if you are working on a screen or if you are looking for certain website, each and every time you will be doing some operations, you are going to some consecutive pages. But at the particular situation, you should know where exactly you are. For example, if you are booking a particular product in online, first you will select the product, then you will move to cart. So in a cart you should know how you can able to proceed further, or how you can come back to select some other items. So where you exactly you are, that should be identified, and what you are doing that, and what will happen, know where you have been from the past. So where you are is like some uh, path that you are staying in it, like websites, top level categories, and subcategories. So you know the location of your traveling. It's like how you will be having URL. Based upon the URL, you may easily find that where you have been, where you are. Next, so be aware of be aware that the big button trap. So big button trap is like it should not occupy the maximum spaces. Try sorry, try with the simple sizes, where the user can easily understand what is the purpose of the button, and what it has, what written on it, and if the user is pressing that button, what operation it will happen. So all this the user, it will be surely they will be aware. But even though, you should provide a compatible informations in it. So big, if you are using very big button, or in larger size, there is a no use. It will only occupies the space of the screen instead of providing a information. So think, others think, more think things from outer space. So where do they go? So from that, where you they will be selecting. So surely they will not go with the longer space usage in the web design. They need a smart work. So next, see what is the problem with the big button is like it occupies larger space for providing information. So it is a best example, like you can have the buttons, you can have the buttons. So the buttons, what will happen is like it here it provides each and every button, it provides a lot of information. It can, you can able to press one if you want an alphabet ABC, you can do, or if you want to select some contacts, that you can use numbers. So these are numbers are with the n number of combinations. So sometimes you will be do some wrong things, or something you will be clicking wrong clicks instead of some other button. So these are the problems it will be happen if we are having certain modes of patterns, or if we are using a larger button information for the user. So then these buttons, okay, these buttons, it will have some problem with it. So then the user between the screen with the applications, they can use different applications globally accepted. So, what is the process behind this adding a users or a responsibility of interaction? The system, the information and help, management, message, and add and remove the user. So, the management or the maintenance has to take a complete responsibility about adding the user and removing the user in the system. Navigating the hierarchy is like you can navigate from one screen to another screen. The thing is, don't go more depth. Means if you are visiting a particular website, you may get some information, or you can order some information within some 5 to 7 screen lengths. That is from home page until seventh page, you may complete some record. For searching, it may take much time, but for ordering, for reading the content, or to understand the website within some 4 to 5 changes of pages you should obtain. So that should be there. So to attain some information or to identify some information, you no need to travel a longer depth, that is more than 10 pages or 20 pages in a website. This is not advertisable. So generally, by having a first click or first view, you have to try to convey all the information. In some cases, you will be going for a particular location or a particular dashboard. From that, you will be traveling it. So whatever it may be, at least by minimum dashboard length from 5 to 7, the users can update some information that what they are trying to search in a single page or single website. So think about the dialogues, the usage of dialogues and usage of content in UI design. Do you name takes this woman? So mentioning names, okay, mentioning a specific names on a websites is not an advertisable. Use some specific names or general terminology that easily understandable by the users. So okay, in UI design, keep that in mind. So these are all general information about the same. So in networks, generally you will be starting with the main screen, then you will add the users, or if there is existing users, you will remove the users. From add users, you will be going to the main screen. From main screen, once again you will be start accessing it. So until a logout, you will be accessing the screen if you are a registered user. If you are a registered user, you are going to log out. Until logout, you can use the navigation of different screens. Next, what leads to what? The users can easily identify uh, the information where they are. That is what happens when. So including branches. So if you are doing some operations, based upon the operations, the users can easily understand what they are doing. Okay, and if they perform some operation, they should understand what happens and how or when. So wider applications, you will be having a longer applications behind it, and you have a different style issues in it, some functional issues in it, some navigation issues. So navigation issues is like different applications that you are accessing, and cut, copy, paste options in the functional issues, and style issues. You have platform standards and consistencies. Next central information about the human computer interaction is like screen. Okay, screen design and layout. So basic principle is try to group, structure, order alignment, and use of white space. So don't leave higher or much or longer white space in it, and then when you are designing in a prompt. So ask, think, and design from the user of the application or user of web design, then you do it. So you have various available tools like grouping of items, order of items, decorations, fonts, boxes, etc. Then you have alignments of items, white space between the items. So the grouping of information where it will come. It is an example for billing. So billing means already you will be registered member or registered users. So they will be already having your phone number, your name, your billing address, everything. So once you are trying to purchase, immediately the billing address it will be loaded. So it will be you have an options to change it, but defaultly it will loaded with your billing address. So these are all groupings and structures. So when you are grouping the informations already that what you are given, it will be uh, linked to the billing pages. Next is like think and act based upon the nature order. What is the natural order for usage? Based upon that, you group the items. Next is decoration. Decoration is like boxes, usage of boxes, usage of textual contents, usage of button structures. All these that you have to see based upon the user. Next, alignment. So alignment is you read from left to right. Generally, we will be reading information from left to right and left hand side. So the informations you will be reading from left to right. So generally, what happens? The information that you are reading from left to right, sometimes it may feel bore, but it is readable. So that's why what the generally the designer they will be doing is they will be providing a lot of informations based on the uh, content through images or some tab, some dashboard changes they will be doing. They will be highlighting some information instead of providing a long textual content. So the user names, the user they will be having some alignments. They will be using some surname, there is a first name, last name, first name, last name, or even they will be using a middle name. So align it properly. So use it in an easy way or use it in a properly by mentioning surname and then first name, last name. So which will be preference given by many of other countries. So we generally we will be using first name and last name, even though that is also there is a lot of confusion in it. But in case of foreigners and all, they will be having surname. They will be mentioning the exact name in surname, first name, and then last name. So which helps you to easily identify the persons or the content that what you are storing in your web pages. So number alignment also another important. If it provides in an order. So pointing device. So which one is biggest? It's very difficult to identify. So if you are arranging like this, it is easy to identify. So this is the informations to it is for viewing. It is not you are not going to add the value. So for adding, you need a numbering equal numbering values or alignments. But for view the informations to view some informations or to record some informations by seeing that you can able to identify which one is the largest and which one is a small. Next, providing a multiple columns. So multiple columns like scanning across the gaps. Okay, the users can read and you can number. Users can find the informations in an effective way. So numbering is another important part. So carefully you should number in it in a multiple columns. Name, any age or name, age, date of birth, like that. You can use multiple columns to get the information by providing a single space in it. And then use leaders. Use leaders in the sense is the usage. For example, what textual content or textual format that you will be using. For Microsoft Word document, Caliber is the default one. Next, you will be using Times New Roman. Then you will be using Arial. So likewise, you have certain the user generally have certain preference. Mostly all the users have same type. One is Times New Roman, then they will be going for a caliber or then they will be choosing a default caliber, then only they will be choosing the textual content. So uh, the use the leader, that is what exactly in a top view you need, use that to identify the information, or you can do a highlighting, that is a you can make a vertical to by highlighting the informations in it. Some bad alignment, leaving some space in left hand side, aligning the informations without any order. either you do with an ascending order or alphabetic order or non-alphabetic order. So make it very clear what you are trying to convey by it. So generally preferably go with an alphabetic order with left alignment for a numbering, if you are listing it out. What's you see in a white space or in a, so the gaps, generally if there is a gap between things, okay, you will be observing the gaps. So here these types of spacious structure, you generally provides some convenient or comfortable. By this comfortable, you will provide the informations or you will be storing the informations in it. Different space and a physical control or group of controls that you can provide. For example, it is a microwave oven. So see most of the operation, what are the operations that you can able to perform. These operations are equally framed on the screen, equally framed without any any merge or combination of two or more keys. So everything is individual with uh, spacing. So that helps the user to identify the informations between different operations. So this combination, the first combination is called as a defrost combinations. Then you have a type of food, that is a type of a combinations. Then you have a order of items. Then you have a order of items. So how you will order the items in an order one. Okay, you will be having sequential order in it. So first you will be type of heat. You will be type of heating, temperature, and time to clock. So these are the three important things that you will be having in a okay. Then you will be uh, choose the temperature and time to clock to use it. So this is the physical control generally you will be having in a various device. So if you see here, all the informations were covered in it. All the informations were covered in it. One is a group of items, order of items, temperature, time to clock, these are noted and it is implemented in effective way. So with the user with this previous topic, we'll end today's session.